is poppin' Dope Nation? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl DOPEaxxPANA. Happy Dope December, guys. I'm still rocking with y'all. It is day 9 and today I'm gonna be bringing you guys another faux lock tutorial, and I'm using this Tropical Roots leave-in conditioner to moisturize my client's scalp. And as you guys can see, she does have an undercut and shave sides. She wanted to get it touched up before we did this video, but she just didn't have time, so I'm like, it's cool, it'll go with the whole natural look. You guys specifically asked me to do a tutorial without the curly ends, and I know you guys love my last tutorial on faux locks that I did because y'all got it to 2.2 million views. That's crazy, y'all. It's only been like 4 months or something like that, so that is so bomb. So I hope you guys really enjoy this tutorial as well. I'm gonna show you guys in detail how I do my faux locks without the curly ends on it. Whenever I'm doing faux locks or any type of natural looking style, I always use the free parts, which is basically parting half circles, and they will lay on top of each other and give it kind of like a nice natural look. So I'm going to start off by plaiting my client's entire head. And as you guys can see, I'm not doing box braids because, guys, it just takes so much longer when you do that. And as you guys saw in the title, this is a way quicker method. So if you guys haven't tried it this way, I'm telling you to try it this way. It does not matter how short your client's hair is. If it's long enough to plait, then you can use this method. Plaiting my client's hair usually takes me about an hour to an hour and a half. Just depending on how long their natural hair is. Hers was a lot quicker, obviously, because she doesn't have a full head of hair. But yeah, after I do this part, I do go in and moisturize her scalp. I didn't show it in the video, but I use the Wild Growth Hair Oil to moisturize, and that is really, really important, especially when you're doing faux locks, because the entire hair is going to be covered, and you want to make sure that their hair is nice and moisturized. Before I show you guys how to achieve them, I did want to give you a view of what the faux locks actually look like without the curly hair on the ends. It does have like a more natural look to it, and they are really flexible because I'm using free tress braiding hair versus using regular Kanekalon braiding hair. That braiding hair is very heavy and it does make your locks very stiff, so I always use free tress even if I'm not leaving the curly hair out at the ends. I used 2 packs of the free tress braiding hair, and I used 4 packs of the equal Cuban twist hair. Both will be linked in the description section. So to start off, I'm going to be crocheting through the free tress hair, and it really doesn't matter what curl pattern you use for that because it's going to be covered. Next, I'm taking the Cuban twist hair and I'm going to pull it apart, and this is just going to make it easier when I'm wrapping my lock because the more spread out the hair is, the more space it will cover when you are wrapping it. So in a second, I'm going to go ahead and crochet this through the top of the same braid. Aside from the locks in the front, I only used 1 piece of the free tress hair and 1 piece of the Cuban twist hair to make my locks this size and this length. If you want it to be longer, you need to make sure you're pulling the free tress hair to get the length that you want, and maybe using 2 pieces of the Cuban twist hair to make sure you can wrap it all the way down. So to get the most length out of my faux lock, I'm only leaving a little piece on one side, and the majority of the Cuban twist hair is going to be on the opposite side, and I'm going to start by wrapping it around at the base, and then I'm going to start to move down. You do need to make sure that you leave enough of the Cuban twist hair on one side to kind of wrap around it. So I would say like at least an inch or half an inch, because you want to make sure that your faux locks don't unravel. Also, when you're twisting it, you want to make sure that you are slightly overlapping the piece that you just twisted across. So I tried to kind of slow it down there for you guys so you guys can see me do that. But you always want to kind of wrap over the piece that you just initially wrapped. So you guys can see I'm doing that here. That will prevent your lock from loosening up and unwrapping. In this clip, you guys can really see the benefit of kind of detangling the Marley hair because, as you guys can see, it is covering more space, and that will make you need to use less hair. So I know there are complaints that faux locks are really heavy, so any way that you guys can prevent using as much hair or creating a lot of tension at the scalp, I would recommend like using those tips. So like I said, plaiting instead of doing box braids because it is like a lot less tension on the scalp, and it is a lot less heavy because we're not doing full box braids all over the entire head. And on top of that, it just also saves time. In my last faux lock tutorial, you guys asked how you guys can make your faux locks thicker if you wanted them thicker. I would recommend adding more free tress hair until you get to the thickness that you want. I wouldn't say add more of the Cuban twist hair just because I'm afraid that it would make the lock very stiff, and we want to avoid the stiffness just so that they're able to be styled in a bunch of different ways. A lot of you guys also asked if I dipped them in hot water afterwards, and I didn't because you don't need to. I think the first time I ever did faux locks, I dipped them in hot water because I used braiding hair and it literally did nothing. So I don't even think it would like hurt or like make them any better. It's just not a necessary step. So I'm going to continue wrapping the faux lock until there's barely any hair left. Once I get to that point, I'm going to start wrapping back upward. So you guys can see here, I'm going to start taking this little bit of hair, and I know it's really blurry, but I barely have any hair left. So I'm going to start wrapping that back upward, and that's just to make sure that the end is really, really secure. If the end is loose, as soon as you burn this hair off, it's just going to start to unravel, and you really don't want that. So I'm going to take my lighter right where that ends. I'm going to burn it just a little bit, and you don't have to do a lot. Next, I'm going to have a little bit of curly hair left at the end, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Next, I'm going to go in with my lighter and I'm going to burn this tip and hand roll it. It's important that as you burn, you instantly hand roll, because if you guys can see right there how that started to unravel, you don't want that to happen. So as soon as you take the heat off of it, you want to take it in your hands and kind of palm roll it like I'm doing here. And you're going to continue doing that until the end of it is nice and secure. And this is what it should look like once you're done. So here is a top to bottom look of what your faux lock should look like. Notice that there's not a lot of tension at the scalp, and that's what you want. When you do it with box braids, there is a lot more tension at the scalp. So I wanted to show you guys a faux lock in the top section because it is slightly different. You do want to make sure that all your faux locks are the same size, and since her hair is naturally thinner in the front, I'm going to be adding just a little more free tress hair so that the lock is the same size as all the locks in the back. I'm still using only one piece of the Cuban twist hair, but the free tress hair, I doubled it up. And you kind of have to just make a judgment based on like what you can see. If you see that the lock is a lot thinner in the front, you can add the free tress hair to make it thicker. If you want to have like contrasting sizes, you can also do that because this is a really natural style, so everything does not have to be super symmetric or the exact same. So this style took me about 5 hours to do, which is about right. I feel like on a full head it takes me about 6 hours when I use this method, and it does save me a lot of time. When I used to do it with the box braids, it would take me anywhere from 10 to 14 hours because I was doing a full head of box braids and then going back through and wrapping each one, and it was just a mess. And I know after I posted my first faux lock video, a lot of you guys were like, oh my god, where are you located, where do you charge? Guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I hate doing faux locks. Like, I'm charging $30,000 period because I hate doing faux locks. Like, it just hurts my hand, it's time consuming, and each time that I do it, like halfway through, I'm like, why the fuck did I sign up for this? Like, I don't know if you guys feel like that about a style, so I personally don't offer them, but I hope that you guys can use this method or show this method to someone and they can achieve it on you, because it is like easier when you do it this way. So if you're somebody who doesn't know how to box braid, then this method would be perfect for you. So yeah, let me know if you guys have tried this method and what you have experienced. I know a couple people had said that their locks were unraveling, and it will really help if you make sure that you're like overlapping them. And also at the end, when you're using the heat, you don't need to use a lot of heat, and it's very important to palm roll because the free tress hair is very thin. So if you like burn through the Cuban twist hair and get to the free tress hair, your lock is gonna start unraveling. So you have to make sure, like you can see here, I'm quickly palm rolling. I put a little more heat, palm roll, and then once you see that your lock is like in place and it's secure, you don't need to keep putting heat on it. So yeah guys, this is a finished look here. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I know you guys have been asking me for this for a while. I will do a tutorial where I show you guys how to take down the lock, because I know a lot of you guys are like, how do you take this down? I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And yeah, aside from that, I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that her sides weren't done. Like I said, we just really didn't have time to complete the look, but I wanted to give you guys this video. So yeah. Let me know if you guys like it in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys in my next video.